Yeah, I have a little bit more than 2 units on props
Okay.
together for if you look at a standard. But again, Super Bowl offers some good opportunities with the props. They really, and there was a couple you talked about before that I like. The second half to be higher scoring than the first half.
Yeah, it's on field, obviously,
The
but I think
touchdown under 1.5, the shortest touchdown under 1.5 yards is one that makes a ton of sense.
that's going like minus 180, but I think it's a 2-to-1 shot. I actually think there's a little value in that.
2-point conversion is one that I really like
you
in
do?
the Super Bowl. Will there be a 2-point conversion attempt? If you want to go for the conversion, you can get a more attractive price.
All right. Why do you think there will be? What pointed you in that direction?
Well, we got 2 head coaches that we like.
Yes, very much.
That's Exhibit A. Exhibit B, we have a kicker problem for L.A.
Is it a kicker problem? Because one of the props I already played is over 46.5 on longest field goal. I wonder how, they said he's kicking okay now.
Sure, but you worry about what could happen after kickoff.
Huh? Yeah.
In my mind, that was the kicker, pun intended, to get me to the window. And then you're reading about Zerline having some issues and that could recur once the game begins.
That part, yeah. I mean, if he pulls a Janikowski out there, that changes the whole game. You want to talk about something that would spur some live betting. If Greg the Leg has to walk off or limp off the field with some kind of an injury.
Legatron. Legatron's the best name for him. It's perfect.
I like Legatron.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, if he's not Legatron, if he's got some broken element, the apps will break with the New England money that comes in.
You think it's a difference maker in that regard?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, first of all, they have to change their offense, in a sense, because the Rams are set up where if they get over midfield, they're going to get 3. Okay?
That's the way McVay's played it throughout the postseason.
Yep.
Is taking the
to make
3.
sure we get something.
Yeah.
But in the event that he can't go or something, his injury gets worse, they've got to open things up and get downfield, get all the way down the field because they can't rely on a field goal kicker.
Sure, but the advanced metric guys are always saying, go for it on 4th down. It's way more positive expectation to go for it every time. And if you're kicking field goals,
it is, and that's probably true over the course of a large sample. It's not probably true. It is true over a large sample. But in a small sample, I don't want to be forced into that situation where I have to go for it because I have no other choice. It also changes the way the defense is going to approach things.
I wonder if Hecker can kick.
Sure, pun.
Probably for extra points in that. But would they try a 30-yarder with him? Hecker can do everything. He can throw passes.
Boy, I got to tell you, if you're a Rams fan, just even thinking about that thought is cringeworthy. Try Aaron Kessler. Okay, try Aaron. We're unable to get Tony Miller. He's busy, I'm sure. Because
it's that kind of a week.
Yeah, there's a lot going on down there. So we'll try and get a hold of Aaron Kessler and get word on what's happening at the Nugget because, look, the Nugget's going to be booming this weekend. It's booming every weekend. But obviously with their own – it's one of the cool things about the Nugget is you're not locked into one of the books that's – it is basically a freestanding book. They've got their own numbers, and you might see some differences there.
And did you see the numbers that Las Vegas is going to get more than twice as many visitors for Super Bowl as Atlanta is?
No, I didn't see that, but it makes sense.
Yeah. We were supposed to get 350,000, and they're getting $150.
Well, look, I mean that's what I think we're on the same side of this. Obviously, is that when
more
I hear
fun to be here than there.
And when I hear that, this legalized sports wagering is going to have a real negative impact on Las Vegas because it's not the only place you can do it anymore. That's just such an uninformed opinion. First of all, you're presupposing that nobody was betting on this stuff where it wasn't legal, which is, of course, ludicrous, okay? They were just betting with bookies or offshore establishments. The other thing is the entertainment value is way better here than it is anyplace else because this is an event and entertainment city.
Sure, it's more fun to watch whatever you want to watch in Las Vegas than it is to watch it anywhere else but inside the venue itself.
I could argue that it's more fun here than the venue itself.
No argument.
Well, no, I mean, it depends where it is. Okay, if you're talking about New Orleans, which is a sensational locale, maybe an L.A. area, because there's tons to do out there. You'll be broke after you do it, but it's still great. But no offense to Atlanta, but Atlanta, I know it's a great business city and stuff like that, but I don't look at Atlanta as one of the great tourist stops in the country. To me, Nashville's a better tourist stop than Atlanta.
No, Atlanta's the airport.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We have Aaron? Good. Aaron Kessler's with us right now from the Golden Nugget. And we were mentioning that this is definitely a weekend where you want that Golden Nugget app, because you guys are more of a freestanding book, and you might not have exactly the same as everybody else has on the game and the props and things like that. So it's important to have that Nugget account.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. We've got different numbers all around. We're currently at 2.5 minus 120 on the Patriots, but it's been flying around.
And
I know there was a big bet in the last hour, apparently, at William Hill. Now, on the Rams, does that impact anybody else, or do you not care about that?
I don't know. I don't book for William Hill.
No, but I'm saying when you see a big bet like that come down, is that a precursor to what might happen at other locations, or do you just kind of say, okay, that's theirs, and I'm not paying any attention to it?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know who bet it. I don't know anything about him. So,
yeah,
we go off of our own action and where we see money coming in.
What's the biggest bet you guys have taken so far?
Well, it's getting higher and higher. We got big bets coming across. We might see a little high five-figure, maybe six-figure action coming in today.
There you go. Props. Lots of props. Are there any sharp money? Well, not forget sharp money. What's the most public props right now in terms of getting action?
We've got 400 props, and I couldn't even begin to tell you which ones are the most public and which ones are the sharpest. But we've seen some with real heavy action, like a lot of people are betting there will be a missed field goal. Getting a lot of sharp versus square action on the defensive and special teams touchdown.
Which is the sharp side of that?
That's the the sharp side there.
In general, if you're asking what the sharp side is the side that's laying the price, and if you're what's the recreational better side, it's the side that's taking the plus price on that. Although, the sharps have gotten crushed on that prop. They bet it every year, and it's been a money loser consistently over the last decade.
It's free money until it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. One we talked about, and this is generally a sharp square prop, is the shortest touchdown of 1.5 over or under. Public tends to bet the over 1.5. Sharps bet the under 1.5. They have to lay a price to do so. I think minus 180-ish, somewhere in that area. But that remains a sharp prop bet on the under 1.5 yards.
We've actually gotten sharp action on both sides of that one this year.
Really? Okay.
And we took some sharp action at minus 180, and we took some sharp action at plus 170 on the over. So I guess the price was pretty good.
Now, Aaron, when you're watching the game and sweating the game, are you exclusively just counting props and thinking about props in your head and marking stuff down and worried about prop results, or did you get to just think about the game and in-game stuff?
Yeah, it's all props. We've got another guy here, Sean, who does our in-game, and he does a great job. But for me, it's all props all the time. It's funny, I have to read the articles that have all the commercials because I have no clue what happened during the commercial breaks. Everything is props. And even during the game, I don't even know what happens half the time. I'm just noticing the elements.
Yeah.
So what percentage of your handle is going to come in on, let's say, side versus total versus parlay teaser versus props? How would you break that down?
It's about 50-50 between game and props.
Mm-hmm.
Is that on tickets count? Or is that on volume, on dollars? Because on ticket counts, I'm hearing just these ridiculous figures on the number of props being way more than the actual game bets.
Well, yeah, because, you can only bet $500 bucks on the props, but on the game, we might be taking 100, 200,000. So, obviously your ticket count's going to be higher, but you do see a lot more $500 bets on the props because you see a lot of sharp action on those.
All right.
You see more $100 bets come in all over the board.
Here's what people really want to know. What do you think is going to happen in this football game?
I'm going to say Patriots get it done again. They pull it out in the end. Let's say 35-34. That's a very nice score.
Well, it's what's wild is I also have the Patriots by 31-30, and one of our guests, spoiler alert, Matt Youmans has the same score, 31-30. We didn't talk to each other either.
That's funny.
It's just and so does Scott Kellen. He came up with the same score. So a lot of us Patriots by 1, and it's funny. I think that I'll ask Matt, but I know I'm in the camp where I think the Rams are a little better football team than the Patriots, but they're the Patriots. And if it comes down to a last possession, I got a feeling they'll find a way to pull it out.
Yeah, Belichick just seems to always find a way. And, it's February. You get Tom Brady against Jared Goff. I'll take Tom Brady.
There you go. What's going on at the Nugget this weekend aside from the big game?
Well, we've got more of our 52 Fridays concert series. That's always a big hit for us. I believe that we have the Grassroots back this week.
All right. There we go. Straight out of the 60s, before the Super Bowl even existed. That tells you how long the Grassroots have been popular. That's pretty amazing. And, of course, you can explain just how easy it is if you're in town for the weekend to get down to the Nugget and set up that app and use it all weekend long. It's a cinch.
Yeah, the app is great. You only have to wait in line once. You get the app. It's a quick process. We'll get you in there. And if you're an out-of-towner, don't worry. You're still able to come bet on the app. You can just use it anytime you're inside the state of Nevada.
There you go. Perfect. Easy. Aaron, thanks, buddy. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Aaron Kessler. Doing great work down at the Golden Nugget. And I like the we've gotten into a time frame where a lot of books just move on what is going on elsewhere.
Sure,
they'll say, okay, well, somebody
move
did
it on
that,
air.
so we're going to move it. And Aaron basically telling you, anyway, we don't care what the guy bet at William Hill. We're leaving the number here. We're basing our move on what takes place here.
And as the craziness starts, remember, we're still going to see, 80, 90% of the handle over the next 48 hours? So during this frenzy of betting, you're going to see some dramatic differences between one book's number and the next, and they quickly get corrected. But if you're going through your app, and updating your app, you're going to find some stuff that you want to bet.
No 4 at 4 today, but I'll remind you that Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and MJ Christensen is your jewelry headquarters for Valentine's Day. If you can't connect those dots, then you really don't care about Valentine's Day. If you do care about Valentine's Day, put this on your bucket list and make sure you accomplish this one, is to get over to Boca Park and check out what's on sale right now for Valentine's Day at MJ Christensen. Back with Matt Youmans after this.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
Last night as a big ugly dog against a team that's just not good enough to be laying that kind of point spread.
Well, did you see that, Lyons? Somebody was all over that because that went from 8 to 6.5 in about a New York minute.
You see teams that low in the rankings. I don't care who they're playing. Mm-hmm. Even against Cal Poly, they're laying 8 points. Not the side you want to be on.
And that was another one with the road team coming in with revenge after a previous bad home loss.
Cal Poly finally gets their first Big West win and possibly their last under Joe Calero.
They were due.
Yeah, and a lot of people think Calero will be out of there after this year. Matt Youmans joins us right now to talk some Super Bowl. And this is the funniest thing because we don't talk with one another. We didn't talk with one another about this. And yet Scott Kellen, Matt Youmans, and myself all came up with the same exact score for our projection of the Super Bowl in the VSiN publication that Matt put together. That was wild.
I guess that pretty much guarantees it's not going to happen.
I know it.
Right? Yeah.
So, and the score was 31-30 Pats. But so let's talk about the game and why you kind of arrived at something along those lines in terms of a high-scoring game that New England pulls out.
Yeah, we just got off the air at VSiN, and Scott Kellen was in the studio with us today, and he's got the score, too, 31-30 Patriots. His numbers come out the Pats favored by 2.5 points, essentially right on the number, and he had the total of 59.5. The total, I don't have a strong opinion on this. Let's put it that way. When you pick a team to win by 1, you're sitting on the fence a little bit, obviously.
Yep.
And I think the point spread values with the Rams +3. You just look at these Patriots Super Bowls, and they've all been close. Pats have won 5 by 3-3, 3-4, and 6 points, and the 6 points was in overtime. Basically, all these games have been down to the wire. I think this one will be as well. And, I really think the absence of Cooper Kupp, you've seen a lack of explosive plays out of the Rams offense. And when I look at Gurley's injury and the absence of Kupp, I have a hard time just envisioning Jared Goff beating Brady on this stage. When it comes down to it, the Patriots just capitalize on opponents' mistakes. When the slightest crack in the window of opportunity, they find a way to get through it. They got this magical quality of winning close games. I'm not sure if it's going to be a high-scoring game or not. I could see it being 24-23, 31-30. I'm very confident it's going to be a close game. And I just like the Pats and Brady finding a way